Oh my God! All right, we have company now. We got company. I can't deal with this by myself. It's going out of my damn mind right now, bro.
What's going on? What's going
Bro, you had
on?
to go in your car,
I
bro.
had to make
God, you
some
gotta
time.
go
I
in.
had
You
to
gotta
make some
go in your
time.
car,
When
bro.
I saw the news, I had to make some time, man. What is going on, man? This is getting crazy. It needs to end. It needs to end.
Dude, like I literally got on Twitter for 2 seconds and this news came out, and I was like, this is insane. Like, I mean, I don't even know what to think about it. I don't.
At this point, it's just, as a franchise, just make a clear path, make a clear decision. I don't want to go, further on into training camp with all this. I know, Jalen Hurts says he's above it and all the, you can say all the sayings you want, but at some point, you have to give your team a clear decision. You have to give, I guess the fans don't really matter, but you have to give your team some type of clarity on who they're going to battle with. Like they've built all this chemistry with him for what?
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to go down the drain. I don't know.
But
Yeah.
hey, but just think about it, though. Like, have they named the starting quarterback yet? They still start of OTAs never named a starting quarterback. Start of training camp never mentioned a quarterback. Philly fan do the super chat. Appreciate it. Says, bro, love your channel. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, bro. And here's another. So Zach Taylor says Trapasso was the first to say that DeForest Buckner was getting traded. That turned out to be a real.
You know,
Bro, it's gonna kill my heart when this happens. It's
but
gonna.
it comes down to what are we giving? Like I've said this before. Look, if we're giving up three first, I'm gonna go crazy. You're gonna see angry Castro. I don't curse much. I think you've seen me curse once on my channel or so, but I will probably go crazy. But if we give up a first round pick and Hurts, I might. I might. It is what it is. Like we know the talent that is there. I just can't overpay for somebody in his situation. So I'm very torn. I'm not gonna lie.
I
I'm
mean,
very torn.
but did you see though? Like, did you see the actual like of how everything like Deshaun Watson hasn't practiced the past 2 days? That they had the meeting after practice the other day, and then they
He
freed
was
up.
playing safety at one of the training camps, which was kind of crazy. I did the whole draft thing with all the reporters and stuff.
Right.
So the guy I knew out in Houston was telling me, he was like, "Yeah, this is the guy you want, man. Like he's our safety right now." So yeah, it's crazy out there with him. I don't know.
I don't know either. So Eagles gang super chat appreciates that if Hurts gets traded, I don't know how the players will feel. That's another thing. Like this, like how we got to be careful with this because now you're gonna turn this. I don't know if this. I
I mean,
mean,
maybe the veterans like it. Maybe it's kind of like saying to people like Lane Johnson and Darius Slay, "Hey, we're bringing in a guy that can win us something now." Maybe they don't see that in Hurts. I don't know because if you hear all this 1% every day, you hear all this
yeah.
like Jalen Hurts is getting better throughout camp. It seems like he's been getting better.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know why we have to jump off a ledge. Like that's my thing. Like I feel like this is jumping off a ledge. This is not you're getting a good quarterback at a good time in his career. You're taking a huge risk. A huge risk where we're
Because
kind of set up right now in a good way. So I don't know,
I don't
man.
know. Maybe the coaches are thinking differently. Maybe I don't know. Like, look, like if Hertz isn't here, like it's gonna be what if. And I'm
Mhm.
telling you right now, if they trade for Watson and this doesn't work out and it's a total bonfire, literally. I mean, Howie's got to go. I mean, he's got to go. Like this was like something for next year. Like if Hurts, like I'll feel so much more comfortable if they do a full evaluation with Hurts this year. But it's just sounds like it's not going to happen. Like it's.
Now, what if they get just to play devil's advocate here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because who's gonna sleep? Who has time for sleep tonight? But
Right.
no, just to play devil's advocate, what if you end up getting them for like a second and a player like a Derek Barnett or something like that? Like, what if you literally fleece them? Because he is a great talent. So, like, what if you did get him for the price that it was like, even if Jalen Hurts is great, you know what I'm saying, this season, then that ups his trade value and we still have our two first round picks.
The risk might help us. The risk of what he's going through is what Deshaun Watson's going through is probably going to help us. Like there's people have already told me tonight. They're like, oh, it's going to cost a fortune to get him. Like it's probably not going to. Like because the Eagles need to add in a trade clause because they have to. Because if he comes here and like something like catches up to him in life, anything that happens,
Yeah, facts.
the Eagles can't get they can't get screwed. So they have to put in some type of trade clause where they're not going to lose dead cap or, they're going to have a dead cap hit or something like that if something happens. But this is going to be a total fail. If Hurts goes to the Texans or something like that and he becomes successful, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. This team, you can't even trust your own team and what they're doing. Like, I don't know. I know for a fact that they've had legit interest since the end of last season. That is definite. 100%. There's people that are saying it wasn't true. It's 100% true because next year's draft class for quarterbacks, I'm not liking it at all. I haven't liked that draft class next year, but this is just. I feel like I'm feeling hurt right now. Like I feel hurt. I do.
Imagine how Hurts feels, like. I mean, this is just terrible timing. I feel like if you're gonna do something like this, you do it at the beginning of the year. You get it over with. Let people kind of settle in. Like right now, if you do this, we're what 8, maybe 7 days now away from actual football. Who's going to be your quarterback going out there? Like, are you going to throw Jalen? What if this guy gets, what if he really gets suspended for 8 games? What if he can never play football? Like, there's a lot of extremes on both ends. You know what I'm saying? What if everything goes perfectly and he's with a great team? But even just looking at the player, I know we all gush over his talent, rightfully so. He's a great, he's a talented player. But look at the teams on Houston. I mean, and look at our team. Let's like sit back and
Right.
realistically look at it. Do we really think that giving up 3 first-round picks for a guy like Deshaun Watson is going to make us a Super Bowl team? Like, do we really think we're that close? Like, Deshaun Watson went what 3 and like 13 not too long ago. So I mean, like, I think that especially our franchise has to sit back and look at who this player is and where we are as a franchise. Like, we're set up to figure out the quarterback position. You know what I'm saying? If Jalen Hurts isn't that guy. But I just think that there's too many positives if Jalen Hurts becomes or even becomes like halfway that guy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where we're just building the team around him for a little while and then we, implant some young guy or do what the Dolphins are doing. This is jumping off a ledge. Like that's really the only way I could think of it. And it scares me. Like you said, it scares me because this could ruin the next 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? But we've said that before. So
Yeah. I agree, bro. Like, Damon Badge with Super Chat says, Hurts will be a Super Bowl quarterback before Watson. Fight me. They already did a poll. They already did a poll on Twitter already, and like 72% don't want Hurts to get traded or him to leave. I mean, it's crazy. Like I just this is risky, man. This is like I'm not ready for this, and I hope it doesn't happen. I hope something gets in the way where it does not happen. I really do not want this to happen. I don't, because I'm happy with what we have right now. And Hurts is already like it's like now you're hitting the restart button all over again, and now it's like he's got to build chemistry. Then now I feel like if you trade for Deshaun Watson now, we're going to be slow beginning of the year. We're gonna get into a slow learning phase, not with just. I think everyone else will be ready besides Watson, and that's what happens when you trade for guys so late. Still have Zach Ertz on the roster right now, free up more money. I didn't know that the figures for the restructures actually came out for Derek Barnett and Lane Johnson, $16 million. So obviously with that, you could fit the 10.5 you owe Deshaun Watson. It's just why do you have to do that? There's no just run with it. Like just see you like stop drafting guys early and then like come on now you draft Andre Dillard in the first round, you put Jason Peters in front of him, you redshirt him the first year. Like stop doing that. Like you drafted a guy high pick, he's a high pick that should get a chance.
and if Howie is on the like border or on the hot seat or something, like Jeffrey Lurie, don't let this man do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? If this is him saying like, give me one more shot, don't let this man ruin your franchise like this. Like I said, if we can get him for very cheap, it's going to be very hard for me to argue. If they're just saying, a fire sale, throw us some mid-round picks, throw us, a second and, this, something that's like, hey,
The
that's a win-win. I can't argue it, but I highly doubt that that's what's going to happen. So,
The
like,
only thing that I could see this coming out to be like successful is maybe the Eagles have a chance to get rid of some contracts that they can get some money back for. Like, say if they want to trade Fletcher Cox and get $16 million back in cap space, you know what I mean? So if they wanted to do that, if they look at another position and say, you know what, trade Fletcher Cox, I think Milton Williams is ready to get in there and do some things. I don't know. Like that's risk. Like that's I mean. This is too much. Like, why this? Like 11 o'clock, 10:50 something at night. Like this had to happen tonight. It just. I hate this team.
but you said it perfectly. Like you're gonna have to start dismantling this team once it comes time to pay. Certain people, especially Deshaun Watson. So if you think that this team is a Super Bowl team this year or next year,
Yeah.
I still don't see why you would go after Deshaun Watson because, like, to be honest, it just doesn't make sense right now. Just unless it is cheap. I have to keep putting that caveat. Like I'm very against giving up more than one first round pick. If it's one first round pick, I might grit my teeth. And I think we all like Jalen Hurts and we all want to see what he can become. But Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson, so he is worth what he's worth. But I'm just not willing to give up the whole future for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Deshaun Watson can't play this year, that should, go into his contract discussions as far as
Yeah.
like how much money he's going to actually get. So that might help us in the future. I don't know. I'm trying to make myself like this a little bit, and it's not working. I'm really trying to like make it
Yeah.
make sense. It just,
So I heard someone Joe Zomp. Joe Zomp says, "What's going on, man?" He says Howie wouldn't make this move without knowing the facts of Watson. He's dumb, not that dumb. I mean, you obviously have to make phone calls. Like you don't. This isn't a trade where it's like, yeah, right now, let's do it. You don't make this trade easily. Like they have some hurdles they have to climb over. They have to work around the money situation. They have to work around what they want, what we want, and on top of everything else, like if there's any trade chips involved, if and to make calls about this case, like I don't talk about. I haven't really read anything. I haven't been reading stuff on Deshaun Watson. Really, I haven't really been. I just don't really care. I don't read about the political stuff of it, and I don't put it on the channel because I just don't even bother with it. But at the same time, it's alarming. You don't want to do this. I hope this isn't true. I trust me. It's news that comes out where you're like, okay, it's not really exciting. It's kind of like you're resetting a position right now. Like if this was like after the season. I guess I don't know. Like, I just, after 4 games of Jalen Hurts, I just want to see more. And I don't know if this is a Howie decision, a Jeffrey Lurie decision, an everybody decision. I have no idea, but there's no way Jalen Hurts is going to be here if they trade for Deshaun Watson. There's no way. It's like Joe Flacco's already getting enough money and incentives and all this other stuff that's going on with him. Mullins is going to be more likely a practice squad quarterback at this point. He's just a camp arm. He's got some starting ability that can make our guys look good for games. For preseason and kind of give guys looks. That's what he's here for, most likely. But this is
and
crazy.
why not just draft a guy? You feel me? Why just not draft a guy? Like, if you wanted a guy that maybe is probably not going to be great this year or even play this year in Deshaun's case, and might be another guy in the second year, then go draft a guy. If you really did not believe in Jalen Hurts that much, or if there was that much of a doubt. I just don't get a guy in the second year. If you wanted a guy that maybe is probably not going to be great this year or even play this year in Deshaun's case, and might be another guy in the second year, then go draft a guy. If you really did not believe in Jalen Hurts that much, or if there was that much of a doubt. I just don't get how we move. Like it's jumping off a ledge. Like that's really all I can say. It's we're putting all our eggs in one basket for really no reason. We're set up good. I think as Eagles fans, we understand it's going to be a process, no pun intended. But like, we know it's going to be a little bit of time to make this team great. But like stuff like this, it just come on. Like we're finally getting over all this, starting to just accept Hurts as that guy, and people are getting behind him, and like you said, everybody's kind of coming together as one, and
Right.
here we go.
Here we go. So, Eagles gang with the super chat says, guys, remember they did the same thing with Vic, and
It's
that was a
different
problem. I
though.
mean, yeah, I know. I mean, I don't even know if I should say this, but I'm not going to say which one was worse, but I mean that was bad when it happened.
That was really bad. But he at least, I will say, and I'm not like you said, I'm not gonna talk about the crime because it's not my place.
Mm-hmm.
Both are obviously very bad, but um, at least I guess at least for lack of better terms, Vic did his time. So it was a decision of, do you think he deserves a second chance? Like Watson is legitimately going through it right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what type of person he is, and like, you can argue that neither deserved or deserved in
Yeah.
Deshaun's case deserve a second chance. But I mean, realistically, Vic was just different. Vic was just different. You had all the facts in front of you. I felt like, and maybe like the other guy said, maybe Howie does. Maybe Howie knows stuff that we don't. I'm sure he does. But unless you have all the facts and know, hey, next week he's getting, released on everything. Everything's getting dropped. He's good. This is just a really, really big risk, man. This is a huge risk.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's this really. I mean, it's more money than you have to spend. It's like now you got to pay him his 10.5 million. It's just more money you have to spend, and like you got to pray. I mean, you really got to pray. Look, Deshaun Watson, like, has he had much luck in the league? He's got one. He's got one ACL. He's had a playoff appearance, I think. I mean, let me know if I'm wrong, but
Yeah, I think that's it. And they've had some squads. They've
yeah,
had some
I thought
squads.
they had. I just don't think they've had the right coaching staff. Bill O'Brien being the GM wasn't the most favorite thing
Yeah,
that's happened over
facts.
there. Okay,
Facts.
like hauling all those 3, 4 first round picks to Miami to get all those, Tunsil and all these other guys, Kenny Stills and all these other guys. On top of everything else, like you trade D Hop for David Johnson, a second round pick for peanuts for a bag of 99-cent chips you get right at the deli at the
Seriously,
corner.
seriously. It's ridiculous. And hey, shout out to Bill O'Brien. He's a former Penn State head coach. I hated him once he left Penn State as well. So I love that I see him doing terribly. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It makes no sense, and for that reason, I guess it makes all the sense in the world for Howie to be behind this because
Yeah.
it reeks of Howie trying to be the smartest man in the room again. And we were trying. Who was it? I forget who it was. I think it was Lord Brunson. I had Lord Brunson on the channel the other day when we had 500 and RV, and I think he was the one that said he was kind of forgiving him. So I'm gonna have to talk to Brunson. You still forgiving him because this is the one. This is the blasphemy. But yeah, he was doing good, man. How he was doing good, and
Yeah,
here
like
you go.
for this year, I think Howie did good. Now, when we talk about Carson Wentz being drafted and then what's happened since then, I don't this Carson Wentz injury like makes Howie look good, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't because they didn't build around Carson Wentz at all.
Right.
Period, like they're doing with Jalen Hurts right now. So really, you could throw that out the window. Okay, I don't give him any credit. Maybe a little bit for this year, which surprisingly a very good draft. Surprisingly, they were slow and strategic with free agency. Obviously, they couldn't spend a lot of money. First day of free agency, I think they had like $3 million under the cap. So I mean, they had to be slow with it. The draft this year was our season, and that's what was
Mm-hmm.
important, and that's what we had to make sure what was right. Obviously, like we've talked about it before, you agree that there were some Howie picks and there were some Nick Sirianni picks plus Jonathan Gannon picks all into one. So it was a collaborative effort, definitely. But this is just it's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen the next day. It might happen. It might happen before the season starts. But I don't know. I don't know how comfortable I'm going to be because to catch a guy in a playbook right before the season starts and this is going to happen. I just don't. I just don't see it. I
That's
just
the thing. So yeah, and it's if you're okay with not being good this year, then you should have just drafted a quarterback. That's really my thing. If you have no faith in Jalen Hurts,
right.
you should have just drafted a quarterback. Like Devontae Smith is a great player, and I'm not mad that we have him. Don't get me wrong. I don't want
Right.
anybody to think that. But man, this is quarterback is the most important position in sports, in any pro sport, team sport. Like I really do feel like quarterback is the most important position. So if you did not have any faith or full faith in that quarterback and you're willing to give up the future for someone else, You should have just drafted someone. Like you were
Yeah,
in perfect position. Like you said, next year's what's it called? I appreciate that, man.
yeah, no problem.
Next year's draft is not strong when it comes to
Mm.
quarterbacks. And this year's draft, as much as people want to hate, I hate Mac Jones, but even the fifth guy might be a good starter. Like Mac Jones might be a good starter. I have faith in Justin Fields, Trey Lance. I really, really like his upside. Like I could have made arguments for all these quarterbacks, but instead you're gonna go get a guy who is literally in the middle of one of, if not the worst things you can go through as a man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like this can ruin you as a person. Never mind as like a football player. Like this, he might not be allowed in a lot of social circles, and we want to bring him to Philly, and at that we want to pay an exorbitant amount to bring him to Philly. I don't understand why you would pay to bring drama. You know what I'm saying? We have enough drama. It just I don't know. Maybe I'm
Maybe
overreacting,
maybe
but
it's, well, we're not seeing everything. Every time stuff is going on with a player, we don't know the real facts. We're not behind the
true.
scenes. We don't know everything. So like maybe it's not as bad as we think it is than what is really going on. I mean, we're just reading articles or we're just reading rumors and that's it. But we don't know what the actual facts are of this apparent case or whatever it is that's
True.
going on with Deshaun Watson right now. So, you know, I mean, the only news I've seen was like, pictures, and I've seen, Deshaun Watson looks so miserable.
Yeah, dude. I feel so bad if it's not true. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
really do feel so bad because you never, I don't obviously wish that on anybody, to even go through that. But man, where there's smoke, I hate to quote Orlando Scandrick, everybody's favorite Eagle, right? But where there's smoke, there's fire, man. Like, there's a lot of cases and they're not all just money grabs. They're not all for money. You know what I'm saying? Some of them are actual cases against him. So I don't know, like just not looking good, and I don't want to have to deal with that. We have a lot of. I do a lot of collaborations with cowboy,
I've seen
content
it.
creators yeah,
Yeah.
and everything. I'm not trying to have to explain this, man. Like I'm really not.
No.
It's I don't
Well, too
know,
late
man.
now. Too late now.
I know, right?
You're gonna be busy this week. You're gonna be
Oh
mad
God,
busy this
tomorrow
week.
morning's gonna be fun. Tomorrow morning, imagine that's gonna be fun. Tomorrow morning at camp.
These
Imagine that.
players are gonna. Jalen Hurts might not even. He might as well not even show up to the podium at this point.
I mean, imagine like what are you that? Oh, I wish I was a fly on the wall. You know what I'm saying? For just their warm ups, just for them to go get their like breakfast together. I want to hear what Jalen Hurts is saying. Like everybody's gonna look at him. You can try and deflect it as much as you want, bro, but like social media is a bitch. Excuse my language. It is what it
I
is.
mean, there's people saying that Aaron Wilson already tweeted out that this is like. I guess from some of the Houston beat writers that it's not true. But I'm sorry, but
They've been
I'm
saying that though. They've been saying that. How many people are gonna lie?
That's what I'm saying. You just because he's a beat writer doesn't mean anything. Just because we say anything doesn't mean it's true either. So
Facts.
but when I see something like that, it's alarming. And plus the moves that have happened the past couple days with Deshaun Watson not practicing for 2 days, Eagles having a meeting after training camp, and not even just that, but you just restructured two players for $16 million to free up cap space in a matter of a couple days of all this
Mm-hmm.
happening together. So if that didn't happen, I'd probably maybe believe it. But because all that happened the past couple days, it's like it connects all together. So
Facts. And if you look at Lane, correct me if I'm wrong, Joey, but didn't we say we didn't need Lane Johnson to restructure? What was that? Wasn't that like the whole? No, you good, bro. You got this. Like now, all of a sudden, we need him to restructure. Derek Barnett, which to me, I understand he's still in some sort of fashion getting his $10 million, but that was the weirdest restructure ever. Like you went from being on the roster bubble to a restructure that only really helps the team. Like it doesn't really help anybody else. It doesn't
yeah,
necessarily hurt anybody, but it only helps the team. So I just don't get it. Maybe this team thinks that they're way better than we see them as. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. If you guys think that you guys are a deep playoff run, a quarterback away, God bless you. I hope you're right because say it ain't so. Joe, what's good, Richie?
Richie, Joey
Joe
Fortune, say it ain't so,
Fortress. I
Joe.
like that. So like, yeah, they taught me Spanish. I guess like my last name, like loosely close to Castro, is like Castle. So he says fortress. So hey,
Yeah.
I'm bilingual now.
But it's gonna get crazy. I mean, it's gonna get crazy.
It's gonna be
So
fun. It's gonna definitely be fun, man. But I'm about to get out of here, brother. I'm about to get back upstairs before I get cussed out.
yeah, it's all good.
But
It's all good.
I
Yeah,
saw
guys,
the
if you,
message. So.
yeah, no, I have Philly 500 too. I text him, dude. He hasn't even answered me once. I'm like, this guy texts me all. We text each other all day, and the one time he doesn't text me, he's
And he's back.
disappeared.
He's behind. He's behind too, right? He's like a couple hours behind us.
So
No, I'm saying so. He should be. He should be up. If anything, I'm
yeah,
up.
it's almost 10 o'clock. He texts me till 1 a.m. his time. It doesn't even matter. So guys, if you guys haven't checked out Philly the podcast, his link is right there. I have it up right now. Check his channel out. He covers the Eagles. He does interviews. Check all his content out. If you guys have not,
I
it's
appreciate it, man.
please, if you guys have it, run over to Joe Castro's channel and hit that sub button and like up his videos and support him because he does a really good job. So
I appreciate it, Joe. We gonna work, man. You know we got to get some work in soon.
yeah.
We got to stop meeting like this. You got to stop. Yeah, but anytime, you already know. Anytime you shoot me that link, I'm gonna try and make some time, man. But I
Yeah, I got
appreciate
you.
it, brother.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right, man.
All
Have
right,
a good night, bro.
All right, you too, man.
Everywhere. This is for
Yeah.
you.
Fly was flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling with Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man soft. Jackson like Deshaun, hunting like Randolph. Season here, really time to do 'em in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.